Friend, what if I told you that you were resting wrong? Or at least could be doing it a little better? Sometimes life is a lot, emotionally and physically. There's excitements, all the responsibilities, stress, overthinking, sensory overload, work, and laundry. And there's just not a lot of space to breathe. Hello, and welcome to Torches, Yoga, and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. If you're curious about mindfulness, healing, and practical habits that actually work, you're in the right place. Here we focus on simple but powerful practices grounded in ancient wisdom and modern science to care for both our minds and bodies. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Today we are going to slow down together and rest with intention. I'll walk you through what intentional rest is, why it matters, the science behind it, and then I have a short restorative yoga flow that you can do anywhere, even in a small space. Intentional rest isn't something most of us grow up learning. Many of us only rest once we collapse or once we've run ourselves to the edge. If you haven't already caught my burnout video, burnout recovery, we talked about that a few weeks ago. Make sure to check that out. I'll put the link in the description below. In that video, I share practices to recover when we've let ourselves hit that burnout stage and a couple of signs to look out for so we can catch ourselves before we are in that full-fledged burnout. Our minds and bodies are constantly sharing information back and forth. The signals from our bodies let us know when it needs rest, care, or nourishment. The thing is, we've gotten pretty good at ignoring those signals and needs. Telling ourselves, I'll just grab a Red Bull or another coffee and keep going. We stay up late at night answering emails, finishing work, doom scrolling, or binging a new series, knowing that we have a stacked schedule the next day or that we're going to be returning to the same stressors. The good news is, when we have small, daily mindful practices in place, it gives us space to notice and better address these signals. So let's look at a couple of them so we can keep an eye out for them to know when our body is telling us that it needs real rest. On the emotional end, we may feel irritated, disconnected from joy, or get overwhelmed faster than usual. Cognitively, we're going to struggle to focus. Our thoughts are going to seem like loud and just looping, or we just mentally check out. In our body, we'll feel tension in our chest, our shoulders, maybe shallow breathing. You do feel tired or even wired, and our shoulders stay tensed up and up around our ears. The symptoms can even hide in our behaviors. If you find yourself excessively scrolling, avoiding tasks, over-explaining, or numbing out, your body is trying to tell you something. You need rest. Intentional rest is the conscious choice to pause, soften, and allow your nervous system to downshift. It's different from sleep, and it's definitely different from the collapse that happens from exhaustion. Intentional rest is a reset for our nervous system, a pause that replenishes our emotional capacity, and a place where presence becomes possible again. Admitting we need intentional rest doesn't mean we are weak or avoiding responsibility. It's not something you have to earn. Think of it as choosing stillness the way you choose to eat when you're hungry. Rest isn't just nice, it's powerful. When we actually give ourselves permission to rest with intention, the benefits are pretty surprising because they show up everywhere. Psychologically, we start to notice that we can regulate our own emotions more easily. Things that used to feel sharp and overwhelming don't hit quite as hard. There's more patience, more softness, and more capacity. We can feel ourselves shifting from reacting to actually responding, and that is such a powerful place to live from. And then there are the cognitive benefits. When we rest intentionally, the brain gets a chance to find calm. Our focus, sharpness, thinking, it all gets clearer, and our creativity has room to spark again. Those repetitive thought loops, the ones that feel like a mental hamster wheel, they finally start to loosen their grip. On the physical level, rest has a huge effect on the nervous system. Intentional rest activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the part of our body responsible for our digestion, repair, and a sense of calm safety. When that switches on, cortisol lowers, the heart rate slows, tensions melt, and our whole system gets a message that we're okay. And then there is the emotional and even spiritual impact, which I think might be my favorite part. Intentional rest creates space, actual internal space for things like insight, compassion, connection, and joy. Because when we are constantly overstimulated, rushing, scrolling, absorbing, joy literally can't reach us. It's like there's no landing pad. Rest makes room and invites joy back in. Let's look at why this actually works versus what we've been doing and why our bodies don't just do this in the first place. One of the big players here is our default mode network. We've talked about this before. It's called our DMN also. It's in our brain. This network lights up when we are in moments of quiet, soft attention or reflection. It's what helps us process what we've experienced, making sense of things and integrating our emotions and memories. But it's also where we get stuck in rumination, worry, thought spirals. It can only be helpful when we intentionally slow down. Intentional rest literally gives our brains the room they need to sort through life instead of just reacting to it. When we rest intentionally, we gently stimulate the vagus nerve, the pathway that helps us feel safe, grounded, and socially connected. So rest doesn't just make us calmer, it makes us feel safer and more supported inside our own bodies. Which brings me to, it rebuilds trust with ourselves. Trust that you will take care of yourself. When we neglect our own basic needs, our body starts to learn that it can't trust us to make good decisions for it. When we hold off on getting a drink of water or using the restroom until everything or everyone else is taken care of, we are telling ourselves, we're telling our body, we come last, we matter least. Intentional rest can heal this distrust. There's also something researchers call micro rest. And this is encouraging because it does tell us that we don't need an hour-long practice to feel the effects. Studies show that even 5 minutes of intentional downshifting can improve our focus and reduce cognitive fatigue. 5 minutes. That's it. But that's the minimum. That doesn't mean you only show up for yourself 10% here and only give yourself 5 minutes a week. But if some days that's all we've got, then a quick intentional power rest is worth the time. On our body level, rest triggers something called somatic quieting. Basically, when we're not in fight or flight mode, the muscles finally get permission to release. The breath naturally slows and the mind follows right behind. It's one of the reasons a single long exhale can be so powerful. So no, intentional rest isn't indulgent or lazy. It's literally how our biology resets. So let's talk about what intentional rest can actually look like in real life, because it doesn't have to mean some time-intensive disconnect or full reset of your whole day. I have some small, doable things you can weave into the moments you already have. One of my favorites is what I call a sensory reset. This is as simple as turning down the stimulation for a moment and dropping into one of our senses. Maybe you close your eyes and just listen to your environment or your own breathing. Maybe you place a hand over your heart or abdomen and focus on the feeling of touch, noticing your warmth, the micro movements, and the movement of the breath in your body. Taking a moment to fully immerse ourselves in one of our senses is like a little mini reboot for our nervous system. Another easy practice is the exhale reset. So here you don't have to think about the inhale. Just focus on making the next exhale a little bit longer than normal. 1 or 2 seconds is enough. This is absolutely one of my favorites and my go-to, and I probably use it every few hours, every day. But whenever I notice that maybe my shoulders are tight and tense, or if I notice I've been rushing around trying to get everything on the to-do list done, like I'll be working on one thing, maybe finishing it up, and I start planning how I'm going to multitask to get the next one going. When I notice this scattered, frantic state, I exhale until there is just no more air left in my body. Then I take a smooth, steady inhale, and now I can go back to my day in a calmer state, and honestly, with a little more self compassionate approach as well. When we don't take a mindful breath or pause throughout the busy days, our brains and bodies stay stuck in that almost frantic state. Our brains are stuck on how we have to complete this, and this. And it sends signals to our body to keep pumping the cortisol. It tells our body that we're under attack. And if we don't complete the to-do list, there will be hell to pay. But the long exhale says, wait, that's not that serious, and allows the space we need to see things clearly. Like if my to-do list is a bit too big, after that exhale, maybe I realize, I have an outfit to wear tomorrow. Laundry can wait. Or maybe this video isn't going to be posted for another week. I can work on it later. When you're moving through hectic days, take a 60-second supported pause. For 1 minute, sit down, lay down, or even just lean against the wall. No goal, no breaths to count, nothing to do, and nothing to fix. Just this minute. Just let your body be held. Another practice that sounds insanely simple but is incredibly powerful is giving yourself permission to rest. For real, say it out loud. I'm allowed to rest right now. Most of the time we move through the day braced, unconsciously denying ourselves that softness. So this one sentence can open up the whole system. These are all wonderful micro rest moments, tiny pauses that fit into the flow of your day. 3 deep breaths before you check a text. 1 minute sitting in the car before you get out or start it up. A short pause between tasks instead of rushing into the next. And these tiny resets add up more than you think. All right, friend, with that foundation in place, let's go ahead and shift into the restorative portion of our workshop. Before we get into the flow today, let's take a look at some of the poses we'll be restoring through. So we've got this is a beginner-friendly flow, so we'll be taking it slow and simple. We will be visiting our cat-cow, where we're down on our tabletop position. So if you'd like a blanket for some cushioning under your knees, and if you have some blocks or pillows around, they may come in handy as we move into our bound angle pose or child's pose. The blocks would go under your thighs for some extra support. Or you might like to have a strap or scarf around for the bound angle. We're going to lean forward into it, and that'll give you just a little bit more reach. But for now, if you need to, go ahead and hit that pause button, grab your mat, a blanket, some props, anything you need, and meet me back here in a comfortable seated easy pose. Please find yourself at the bottom half of your mat. This will give us space to roll forward later. But for now, in our easy pose, rest your hands on your knees and take a deep breath. Sitting tall, welcoming in space for our intentional rest, and exhale, allowing any stressors from the day to melt away. Feeling the breath's journey in our body, take one more deep inhale, and with this exhale, express your intentions for your practice today. I offer this practice today for my mind and body to have rest and find restoration. Let's take one more deep inhale, and this time, raise your arms overhead, giving a nice stretch, fully expanding the chest. And on your exhale, take a side bend to the right, opening the left side of the rib cage. Inhale back to center, and exhale, taking a side bend to the left. One more inhale back to center, bringing the hands to rest for a moment at our heart center. Notice new sensations after that stretch. Now, friend, you can keep your hands at heart center or let them come to rest on your knees. Following the flow of your breath, we are going to take some neck rolls. Closing your eyes if you'd like, take a slow inhale, and exhaling through your nose, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. On your next exhale, roll the neck forward to the left side. Take a nice deep inhale here, and on the exhale, roll back to the right. Once more, but on this roll, take it to the back side, to the left. With an intentional inhale, roll along the back side again to the right shoulder. Once more, but taking the front side. And one last time, taking the back side. Come back to center. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. If it's uncomfortable to lift your shoulders, you can squeeze them to the back, pinching the shoulder blades together. We're going to shrug and squeeze, 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 and release. Lift again, squeeze, 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 and release. One last time, lift, squeeze, 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 and release. Sitting tall, notice your alignment. Take a deep breath, and on your exhale, we're going to roll forward over our feet and come into a tabletop position. Wrists stacked directly under our shoulders, knees squared and directly beneath our hips. Starting from a neutral spine, inhale, arching the spine and drawing your gaze upward. Follow the flow of your breath. Exhale, round the spine one vertebrae at a time into cat. On your inhale, flow into cow, shining the heart center upward. Exhale, round, drawing the belly button to the spine. Inhale, pressing through the palms, pulling the shoulders back, opening into cow. Exhale, rolling inwards to cat. 2 more rounds. Inhale, open. Exhale, push the rib cage to the ceiling. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale into our deepest cat and come back to a neutral spine. For a deeper shoulder stretch on our coming child's pose, grab your blocks or books. From our tabletop, let's shift back and rest our hips back, keeping our arms outstretched, and sink into a child's pose, taking some nice deep breaths here. If it feels right, take your left arm, twisting and kind of thread the needle here under the right arm. One more inhale and exhale back to center. Let's balance it out, threading the right arm under the left, taking the twist to the other side. One more inhale and exhale back to center. Slide your hands up under your shoulders and press back into easy pose for just a beat. Let the soles of your feet come together, grasping them with your hands. Spine long, keeping the shoulders wrapped down around your ribs, not inching up to the ears. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently fold forward. You can round the spine here, softening the shoulders, and let the head hang heavy. No need to go deep. We are inviting rest, not effort. Stay here for a few breaths, settling into this pose, noticing. As you're ready, friend, take an inhale and slowly roll up to a tall spine again. From here, we're going to stretch our legs long, coming into a staff pose. Lift your left leg slightly, or place it on a block or pillow under your calf. Let's take some outward circles with our ankle. Steady breathing. And switch it up, circling inward. All right, let the left leg rest back on the ground. Lift the right leg, keeping the lower abdomen engaged. Circle outward, letting any residual energy we are carrying that is no longer serving us flow out. Switch it up, circling inward, drawing in relaxation and restoration. And let the right leg rest. With an intentional inhale, reach up tall, and on your exhale, gently fold forward, softening, surrendering. On your next inhale, gently rise back up to staff, but this time, continue rolling back. With slow, gentle control, roll one vertebrae at a time, lying back on the mat. Draw your knees up to your chest, hugging them in, using your strap if you need to. Rock side to side, giving the spine a little massage. As you're ready, lower your feet down to the mat. And here we're going to windshield wiper the knees, letting them fall to the right and to the left, flowing with your breath and gentle twists in the spine. Just a couple more here. All right, let's come back to a neutral spine. Stretch the right leg long and tuck the left knee up to your chest. We're going to take a deep stretch here. Take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, bring the left leg over to the right. Take a couple intentional breaths here, bringing out any tension, griefs, or limiting beliefs we may be holding. One more inhale, and on your exhale, come back to center. Let's switch legs. One more nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, drop the right knee to the left side. Let your muscles melt with each exhale. One more inhale, and on your exhale, come back to center. Let both legs rest long on the ground for our corpse pose. If it's more comfortable for you, for your lower back, you can plant the feet on the mat, hips width apart if you'd like. Let your hands rest on the floor, palms up. If you need, you can place a small pillow or a blanket under your neck here for support. And if you can, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let my voice guide you through this last portion of our practice. Let the jaw unclench, the brows soften. Let your breath fall to its natural rhythm. Bring your awareness to your crown and forehead. Let it soften. Roll your attention down your face and neck. Let it soften. Notice your shoulders, upper back, chest. Notice any sensations. No judgments or stories of the sensations. Just notice if they are there and allow this area to release and relax. Bring your attention to your abdomen and lower back. Let it soften. Our attention still slowly working its way down our bodies, resting now for a moment at your hips and thighs. Let them melt into the floor. Give them permission to release all that is no longer serving you. Notice your knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Feel them heavy against the earth beneath you. Allow them to relax and soften. Feel your body as a whole, supported without effort. There is nothing here to fix or hold. Just be. Notice your body in this relaxed state. Can you feel your heartbeat, your pulse? Notice the rhythm of your body as it moves with your breath. Friend, as you are ready, please take one deep breath to signal to our body that we are ready to begin moving again. Feel the temperature of the room you are in upon your skin, and welcome little movements back into the body, starting with little wiggles in the fingers and toes, elbows and knees, maybe a couple gentle head turns of the head. Now roll yourself to one side, supporting your head as needed. Take a nice deep inhale here, and as you're ready, slowly flutter your eyes open, letting the light back in or blinking them back into focus. One more deep breath and gently press back into a comfortable seated position. Welcome back, friend. How was that practice for you? How did it feel in your body? Friend, remember, you do not have to earn rest. You don't have to justify it. Rest is allowed. It is nourishment. It is necessary. So thank you so much for giving yourself this much needed rest today and for allowing me to guide you in your practice. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.